In the quiet halls of Mar-a-Lago, where history whispers through every room, something unexpected happened. Barron Trump stumbled upon a hidden letter, written years ago by his father during one of the most challenging times in his presidency. What he read inside would change him forever, and inspire millions around the world. It was an ordinary afternoon at Mar-a-Lago. The estate buzzed with its usual energy, staff moving silently across polished floors, sunlight streaming through grand windows, casting golden hues over antique furniture. But Barron wasn't part of the bustling activity. He wandered alone, lost in thought, reminiscing about growing up in the public eye. Despite being part of one of the most famous families, Barron often felt misunderstood or overshadowed. While exploring a rarely used study filled with dusty books and forgotten memorabilia, Barron opened an old wooden box tucked away on a high shelf. Inside, he found a sealed envelope addressed simply to "My son." His heart skipped a beat as he carefully unfolded the letter. It began with these words: "Dear Barron, if you're reading this, I want you to know that no matter what anyone says, I've always wanted the best for you. Life as a Trump isn't easy. I learned that the hard way, but I believe it made me stronger. Now it's your turn to decide who you want to be." Barron sat down, clutching the fragile paper tightly. As he continued reading, tears welled up in his eyes. The letter revealed intimate details about Donald Trump's struggles, moments of doubt, criticism he faced, and sacrifices he made for his family. There were admissions of fear, vulnerability, and even regret. For the first time, Barron saw his father not just as a larger-than-life figure, but as someone grappling with the same insecurities everyone faces. One passage stood out. "Being a leader means making tough decisions, some of which will anger people. Being a parent means loving unconditionally, even when others don't understand. Balancing both has been my greatest challenge. If I could go back, I'd spend more time with you, Barron. You deserve that. And now, as you grow into adulthood, remember this: courage isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up every time you do." The weight of those words hit Barron like a tidal wave. Growing up under constant scrutiny had left him feeling isolated, unsure of how to carve out his own identity. But here was his father, admitting his flaws and encouraging Barron to forge his own path. Inspired, Barron resolved to step out of the shadows. Over the next few weeks, he reflected deeply on his passions and interests. Art had always been a secret love of his, a form of self-expression that allowed him to escape the chaos of fame. He decided to pursue it boldly, despite potential ridicule. But before Barron could fully embrace this new direction, another discovery added depth to his journey. While sorting through more items in the study, he stumbled upon a small photo album, tucked beneath a stack of papers. The photos inside showed a younger Donald Trump spending time with his children, playing catch in the backyard, laughing at birthday parties, and sharing quiet moments over dinner. One picture caught Barron's attention. It was a candid shot of his father teaching him how to ride a bike. In the background, Melania smiled warmly, her hand shielding her eyes from the sun. This glimpse into his childhood reminded Barron of happier, simpler times. It also sparked memories of conversations he'd had with his mother about resilience. Melania had once told him, "Life gives us challenges because it believes we can handle them. Trust yourself, Barron. You are stronger than you think." Her voice echoed in his mind as he flipped through the pages, reinforcing the message in his father's letter. Determined to honor their guidance, Barron threw himself into his art. He spent countless hours painting late into the night, experimenting with colors and textures to express his emotions. Each stroke became a reflection of his inner world: loneliness, resilience, hope, and ultimately freedom. Friends noticed the change in him, One close confidant, Alex, a college buddy who shared Barron's passion for creativity, encouraged him to share his work publicly. "You've got something special." "Here, man," Alex said one evening as they sat in Barron's studio surrounded by canvases. "Your art tells a story. Not just yours, but everyone's who feels stuck between expectations and dreams." Alex's words resonated deeply. Barron realized that his journey wasn't just personal, it was universal. Many young people struggled with finding their place in the world, especially those living under the shadow of powerful legacies. This realization fueled his determination to create something meaningful. Months later, Barron organized an art exhibition titled "Through My Eyes," showcasing pieces inspired by his journey of self-discovery. Each painting told a story: loneliness, resilience, hope, and ultimately freedom. On opening night, the gallery was packed with friends, family, and curious visitors. Barron stood nervously at the entrance, watching as strangers admired his work. As guests mingled, a side story unfolded that added richness to the evening. A young girl named Emily, accompanied by her single mother, approached Barron shyly. She carried a sketch pad filled with her own drawings. "I heard about your story," she said softly. "It gave me courage to keep drawing, even though kids at school laugh at my pictures." Touched by her sincerity, Barron knelt down to her level. "Never stop creating," he told her. "Art is a way to show the world who you truly are. Don't let anyone take that away from you." Emily's mother thanked Barron, tears glistening in her eyes. "You have no idea how much this means to us," she said. "Seeing someone like you embrace your passions gives my daughter hope." When it came time for him to speak, Barron stepped onto the stage, his voice steady yet filled with emotion. "This collection represents my journey toward finding myself," he said. "For years I struggled with living up to expectations, not just from others, but from myself. Then I discovered something important. We are all works in progress. We stumble, we fall, but we rise again. This is my way of saying thank you to my father for teaching me strength, and to all of you for seeing me as more than just a name." The crowd erupted into applause, moved by his honesty and vulnerability. Cameras flashed, capturing Barron's triumphant moment. Later that evening, Donald Trump arrived unexpectedly, having flown in from New York. He hugged Barron tightly, pride shining in his eyes. "I'm proud of you, son," he whispered. "You've become exactly who you're meant to be." Word of Barron's exhibition spread quickly. Media outlets praised his bravery, calling it a defining moment for someone who had spent much of his life avoiding the spotlight. Fans flooded social media with messages of support, sharing their own stories of overcoming adversity. Barron became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even those born into extraordinary circumstances can find their own voice. But Barron didn't stop there. Inspired by the response, he launched a foundation aimed at helping young people navigate life in the public eye. Through workshops, mentorship programs, and creative outlets, the foundation provided tools for self-expression and personal growth. Barron traveled across the country, speaking at schools and community centers, urging young people to embrace their uniqueness. During one such visit, Barron met a teenager named Marcus, whose father served in Congress. Marcus confided in Barron about the pressure he felt to follow in his father's footsteps. "I want to be a musician," Marcus admitted hesitantly, "but everyone expects me to run for office someday." Barron listened intently, recalling his own struggles. "Follow your heart," he advised. "If music is your passion, then pour everything you have into it. People may not understand at first, but they'll see your authenticity eventually." Marcus took Barron's advice to heart, joining a local band and performing at community events. Months later, he sent Barron a video of his first concert, thanking him for believing in him. Years later, reflecting on that fateful day at Mar-a-Lago, Barron realized the true gift his father had given him. It wasn't wealth or connections. It was permission to dream, to fail, and to try again. That single letter had sparked a transformation, not just in Barron, but in countless lives touched by his journey. And so, Barron Trump proved that courage isn't inherited. It's chosen. By choosing authenticity over conformity, he inspired a generation to see beyond labels and embrace the beauty of becoming.